Good morning students. Today I am going to explain you class 8 chapter 3 why do we need a parliament. So before starting the chapter, first I am going to explain you the word parliament. The word parliament comes from the word parley, which means to discuss. So the term refers to the discussions about all the public affairs. The parliament is the supreme legislative body in India. So India is the largest democratic country in the world. We cannot rule over the country directly because of the population is very big, but the common people participates in the functioning of the government indirectly. So they participate through elections. So people elect their representatives to the parliament who rule the country. India became independent on 15th August 1947, a long and difficult struggle in which many sections of the society participated and people from different backgrounds joined the struggles, and they were inspired by the idea of freedom, equality and participations in decision makings. So the people had lived in fear of the British government under the colonial rules and did not agree with many of the decisions that they took. So the freedom struggles changed these situations. The nationalists began to criticize openly the British government and made demands the Indian National Congress and demanded that there should be elected members in the legislatures with a right to discuss the budget and ask the questions from the government. So the Government of India Act 1909 allowed indirect elections to the legislative assemblies. National leaders not satisfied with this. So at last India became independent on August 1947 through the process of long and difficult struggles. So democracy's desire, approval and participations of the peoples are very important in these struggles. And the individual gave approval to the government through the elections. So all the persons in free India could participate in decision makings with the advent of independence. And we were going to be citizens of a free country. And this did not mean that the government was able to do what it felt like. It means that the government had to be sensitive to people's demand, and the dreams and aspirations of a freedom struggles were made in the constitutions of free India, and that laid down the principle of universal adult franchise, that all adult citizens of the country enjoy the right to vote. So here one more question in front of us: how does the individual give consent to the government, means to permit or to agree to the government? So one way of doing so is through elections. People would elect their representatives to the parliament, and group of these elected representative forms the government. And the parliament, which is made up of all the representative together to controls and guides the government. And in this way people form the government and also control it through their chosen representatives. So the Indian Parliament, which is created after 1947, is the expression of the faith that the people of India have an principle of democracy. So these are the participations by the peoples in the decision making process, and the elections to the parliament are organized in a similar manner as they are for the state legislators. So the parliament is generally elected once in every 5 years, and the country is divided into a number of the constituencies, and each of these constituencies elects one person to the parliament, and the candidates contesting elections usually belongs to a different political parties. So the Indian government, like any other democratic government, consists of three organs: the legislators, the executives, and the judiciaries. So in this chapter, we will study about the central legislators. So the central legislators or the Union Parliament consist of two houses, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament and Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the parliament.